Marsden's sneakers broke through the ginger plants that carpeted the covert, turning the dusk air pungent with their scent. Their heart-shaped leaves ran rampant in the space, thriving beneath the cool shade thrown by the trees. Only in the covert, away from the simmering heat of town, would they not wither and die. Once the ground cover had been nothing but crabgrass and clover and thistle. It would have been like that when her great-great-uncle had walked over it nearly 100 years ago, when Duncan Kirby first came to this part of the world, looking for gold. The stuff was first discovered in the banks of the Indigo River back in 1890, with the most generous amounts in the deepest, most crooked bend that eventually became the town of Glory. When the gold began to disappear, so did most of the townsfolk who had come west for it. But Duncan stayed, waiting for the gold to come back. He built a cabin for his young family in the town's west end on land he won in an epic game of poker. And when the gold refused to show again, his sanity ended up lost with it, and he went on to shoot his wife and kids before turning the rifle on himself. Glory decided to burn the cabin, and the bodies still within it, to the ground afterward. A cleansing fire, the townsfolk nervously called it as they stoked the flames until nothing remained but the gray and salty ash of bone. It would change the covert from a cursed place to one that was blessed, the place where sins could be left behind before going to heaven. Dying after touching its purified soil meant salvation. Just a handful of the covert's dirt needed to be stuffed into a pocket or smeared onto skin. Marsden decided long ago Glory's first settlers had no idea what they were doing because her family's land still felt cursed. And all the fire did was turn the town into a spectacle. Nearly a century later, and still people came, like the thirstiest of bees, the most vulnerable of them, the ones looking for understanding of some kind, were drawn in by the covert. The private property and keep out signs nailed along the outer fence might as well have been blank. Each body Marsden found was just another person fooled, lured by a promise that redemption could be found in its blood-stained and now ginger-scented dirt.